Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. So I want to go over some news for the Philadelphia Eagles. A couple things I definitely want to go over with regards to Monday Night Football, all of the stuff that happened there, and kind of what's been going on with the Eagles this week so far, since it's only, by the time you watch this, probably going to be Wednesday. And obviously the New York Giants this weekend, which is definitely a playoff game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Let me go through a few things here, and let's get straight into it.
Because I've seen enough horror movies to know any weirdo wearing a mask is never friendly.
So some news has come out in regards to Damar Hamlin, which is obviously one that we've been kind of looking at since Monday night, and so far the news is getting better. Not out of the woods yet. He is 50% breathing on his own now, so not needing the respirator or whatever it's called. He's breathing on his own 50%, which is a great thing. So just gotta keep praying every day. And keep this thing going, man, because I think he's going to get out of this, and I know he is. So definitely everybody's got to keep him in his and all of our prayers every single day. So that's the good news on Damar Hamlin and what's been going on with that, which has been just a crazy week, which has taken a lot of people out of the football mode. And really concentrating on, really helping each other. And I think that's what's really important here. And secondly, because of the Bengals-Bills game being suspended, there has been some rumors out there that what is the league going to do here? I mean, are they going to cancel a week of the league? Because really now, since that was suspended, that game was suspended now. Now I don't know what they're doing now to go forward for the rest of the league, the rest of these teams. Especially for the Bills and Bengals, are they going to play next week? They can't play next week when they have another game Sunday for the last week of the season and make it another short week for them, even though the Bengals and Bills don't both have playoff spots. But it comes down to it. I'm not just talking about those two teams, but it's going to affect every other team on what decision that they make. I'm not saying there's any rumors about it. I've just been reading articles and what is the league going to do now? Are they going to give a week off for every team, an extra week, which definitely would help a lot of teams, especially the Philadelphia Eagles, which I don't think is going to happen. Guys, I'm just speculating right now. I don't know any facts. I don't have any resources to really show, but there's just been a lot of articles coming out about how they're going to kind of redo this Bills-Bengals game when everything's said and done. And we're just going to have to find out. I mean, I don't know if Hurts is playing this week. We're not going to get any answers until Saturday, most likely. The Eagles play the Giants on Sunday at 4:25 at the Link, okay? I don't care. Like I've said a million times, I'm not even going to be reporting on the Giants having their starters until post-game when I say, the Giants either didn't have their starters out or did. We don't owe them a favor, and they don't owe us a favor. I know the Eagles with Jalen Hurts at quarterback could beat them. I think they're definitely beatable. There's no doubt about it. I'm not just looking at the first game we had against them, but, the Giants are locked up. Whether they win or lose, it doesn't put them out of position in the playoffs at all when it comes to seeding. So really, they would just have to, if they want to get some revenge or get something back at the Eagles, they would have to make sure that they're healthy coming out of that game, because if they get injuries, and they can't afford any more injuries than they have right now going to the playoffs, which most likely they're probably going to be facing the Minnesota Vikings in the playoffs, which I think the Giants definitely could beat them. But at the same time, is it worth the Giants risking all of that just to get some momentum? Or I don't believe in the whole momentum thing, just because the Eagles did it in 2017 where they had a really bad playoff. They had a bad game in the regular season. The last game of the season was against the Raiders. I think it was against the Raiders to get the first seed. And the Eagles didn't play well. I think they beat them 19-14. You know what I mean? So, I don't believe in the whole momentum thing. Your team can create their own momentum just because of not playing players or playing players. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, guys. I don't believe in the whole momentum thing. That team will create its own momentum. If a team needs rest, a team will rest. So I'm not even worried about that at all. The Eagles have to play 100%. I was afraid that the Eagles would get in this position. We've been falling downhill since that Bears game. Ever since we won against the Bears, losing Jalen Hurts for a couple weeks with 2 more losses under our belt really sucks. This could be the biggest choke job for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think a number 1 seed has had that's been in a situation like this, because now if the Eagles lose against the Giants, they actually move down in seeding, but at the same time, it is a big choke job. Probably the biggest one for the Eagles this year. And you can't blame it on anybody, but, just not having your starting quarterback, your most valuable player, intact for these games. And I figured after that Cowboys game with Minshew being the quarterback and not playing a horrible game, but the 4 turnovers have really, as long as he cleaned that up, I was feeling pretty good about going to that Saints game. But I don't know what the plan was. I don't really trust this coaching staff going into this Giants game if Gardner Minshew is the starting quarterback. I just do not trust it at all. From the way he's been throwing the football to how they're using him to not putting him under center, no play action, treating him putting him in an RPO read option type system, that teams aren't going to look at Minshew and have to fear him running himself, because the guy just can't run, and he's horrible. He's really bad. I honestly didn't think that Minshew would actually play that bad. The Cowboys game gave me hope that he would play better and ignore those turnovers or try to fix that. Going to that Saints game, man, this whole team was dead in the water, especially our quarterback. The quarterback affects the receivers. The quarterback affects every position offensively. If the quarterback is struggling, and he's showing that he's struggling, the rest of the team is not going to fight for this quarterback. I'm not saying they're not, but all I'm saying is it's going to affect other positions, and it's not going to look good. The chemistry was hard. I mean, everything was just horrible, like they didn't practice the whole entire week. Gardner Minshew played better off of 3 days of practice to face the Cowboys than he did 7 days facing the Saints. Whatever the hell they did, even though there's a theory I definitely believe, and I will say this till this day for that Saints game this year, okay, I totally believe that Hurts was supposed to start. After Sirianni did say at post game that Hurts was close to starting, I felt like they prepared Jalen Hurts all week, and Gardner Minshew pretty much was just, I know that both quarterbacks were working with the ones, and Gardner Minshew was getting more reps. But I had a feeling that maybe Hurts was ready, that they were going with Hurts, and then it messed up their game plan at the end of the week, and they changed their minds on playing him and felt like Gardner Minshew could win. And obviously with me, I said to myself, well, if the coaching staff trusts Gardner Minshew could win this game against the Saints, then I'm perfectly fine with it. But that didn't happen. And now we're in this debacle now where if we didn't have Lane Johnson hurt, I really wouldn't care as much as that first seed and getting that extra week of rest is definitely going to help this team get prepared, and Hurts is going to get these guys prepared. Not saying he won't on a without the first seed, but it's going to be a lot easier. And honestly, the Lane Johnson injury is one I'm looking at right now and saying, we need this guy back. I mean, I'm not saying that Driscoll played bad against the Saints, but yeah, I mean, we don't have a mobile quarterback. It's going to hurt. You have a statue back there that's not going to move, that's has no pocket awareness, that's making it as worse as it can get as of right now. And I don't know what else to say about it, man. Like, it was just plain bad, god-awful. If you know me as a content creator on here, I don't sugarcoat anything. Whatever I feel is how I feel, whether I'm right, whether I'm wrong. It's just how I feel. Minshew's not the guy, and Minshew being the starting quarterback for a couple weeks to kind of, this was his, his preseason. This was his point to showcase himself to other teams since he is a free agent after this year. I totally agree going into next year that the Eagles have to get a quarterback that matches Jalen Hurts' skill set. I think they need to get a guy that runs the read option, that can run the RPOs, that can run like Jalen Hurts, or even a guy that's faster than him as our backup. They need to find somebody like that for this offense, whether it's a young guy or a rookie or a vet that's out there. Who knows? You know what I mean? So, because I don't see the Eagles paying veteran backups. They used to pay them a lot of money. It's just I don't think they like doing that anymore. So who knows what they could do. But put a guy back there in a really good quarterback room, so I mean, down the road, we'll look at that down the road as it comes, because Minshew and Hurts are just two different quarterbacks, and his coaching staff just couldn't handle just how much change they had to put under Gardner Minshew. Cowboys game was good. His passing yards were great, but 4 turnovers. You literally gave the Cowboys 20 points. I mean, you literally handed the ball off to them with the Boston Scott fumble. I mean, on an exchange, just an exchange to the running back. You can't make mistakes like that. There are a lot of things that Minshew did. I know Jalen Hurts would not make those mistakes. Certain lanes that were wide open on those read options where he was going to hand it off to Miles Sanders. I said when I was watching Minshew, if that was Jalen Hurts, would have ran that lane and got so many yards for a first down. You're missing your vital piece to your offense, and Jalen Hurts needs to come back this week. You start Minshew this week, they're not winning against the Giants. I don't think that Minshew could play against a backup defense. Even if the Giants rest their starters, I don't think he could win. As much as I want to believe that he can, these 2 weeks has gotten from okay to clean up your mistakes to worse. So if he's only getting worse from here, we've seen the worst of it, and it could get worse if Minshew does start against the Giants this weekend. It's shitty, man. It's crappy. It's something we didn't want to happen. Like I said, all we have to do is beat the Cowboys. All we got to do, and it sucks. We have 1 loss under Jalen Hurts. That is it. You got 2 losses under Minshew. This team didn't fight back in a second week with Minshew at quarterback. With Jalen Hurts, it's a different story. It's a different aura around the team. These players are definitely these players just fight better under Hurts, and Hurts keeps them, just keeps them on target with everything, mentality and with everything else, which I think makes a lot of sense. So, like I said, just say, and I'm not wishing this. People are going to be in the comment section, are going to say, oh, this is what you want. I'm like, I could care less about it, okay? This Bengals-Bills game definitely kind of messed a lot of things up now. So, obviously for good reason, but the season is going to go on regardless of what's happening. Other teams have to play their games. So are they going to take a week off and give the Bengals and Bills their own week of a game? I don't know. There's so many articles coming out as what is the NFL going to do now? Are they just going to cancel that game? Because once they start doing that, if there's a game that, where like a travesty happens like this and the players don't want to play and they have to suspend a game, there's got to be a rule that they have to create now of what the league is going to do when things like this happens. Because now, do the Bills and Bengals play on a short week? I don't know. They can't play. Can't have 2 games in a matter of 4 days. It just can't happen. You know what I mean? So what are they going to do here? If they just say, we're going to cancel this week's games, let the Bengals and Bills play this Sunday, and then wait till a week after. I don't know. It sounds stupid, but I don't know what you do here in a situation like this. Teams would benefit off of it, there's no doubt. Like if they just gave the Bills and Bengals next week as the only game, and then the next week after that, they play the last week of the season, which definitely would help the Eagles 100% in getting guys back. So I'm not putting anything on this. This is just speculation, me just throwing some stuff out there to see what you guys would think about it. So you guys let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about this whole entire situation, obviously with the Bills, the Bengals, what you think the league will do. And do you think the Giants will still rest their starters? Do you think it doesn't matter? Because I don't. I don't care. The Eagles could beat them regardless. But Jalen Hurts has to start. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's got to start. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. I will see you guys on the next one. Shake Squad up, follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.